Welcome to the Twisted Pint Tavern. Today we're visiting r/AskReddit to answer, D&D Players of Reddit, what are some of your funniest moments? And after the video, if you have any funny moments you'd like to share, let me know in the comments and they might get pulled into a part 2. Krug, class, level 16 Goliath Barbarian, and level 1 honorary monk, no skills or anything. Krug is a special boy, built like a brick shit house, but absolutely enamored with monks and pretends to be one. At one point, he saw a monk feather fall off a mountain to ambush a passing patrol. He then proceeded to yeet himself off said mountain, and with 2 nat 20s, invented a new feat, Meteor Fall, where he proceeded to hit terminal velocity and collided with the patrol's captain, vaporizing both him and his mount while creating a crater with a perfect 3-point landing in the middle, no damage taken. I feel like if there's anyone who can create a Meteor Fall feat, it would be a level 16 Goliath Barbarian, so good on Krug. I'm not sure I can explain this in a way that truly captures how funny it was in the moment. It wasn't an over-the-top nat 20 outcome moment, it was a simple roleplay moment that we all got a good chuckle out of. Before this party tragically died in a TPK, I played a half-elf cleric named Yellow. Yellow never lied. He was a generally good person who returned kindness given to others. So when a dragon was coming to destroy a city, he told the king the truth of it being his fault. The ranger jumped in front of him saying, Yellow, sweetie, remember what we talked about? Don't say anything you aren't proud of. This is one of those moments. I can always appreciate as a DM when players have their characters be truthful and honest instead of trying to lie about everything. However, sometimes you should just lie about something. My first game, I was a dwarf, and I think I was a cleric, I'm not sure, but the point is that I had a spell that allowed me to bring people back from death. I somehow thought this was also going to make anyone I brought back a friend, so we killed a skeleton, we were level 1 so it was hard, and I took the big brain decision to use that spell, so we had to fight him again. I feel like it's logical to assume that if you bring someone back from the dead, then they'd be happy about it, but that doesn't necessarily mean they're gonna be your friend. Players found a camp of gnolls with some trapped humans and 1 child gnoll. Went to huge lengths to keep the child safe. Use all the neutral good necromancer spells to fear the gnolls away and keep everyone else asleep. Only 1 gnoll was killed, and they left a note for the child gnoll to leave and find a better life. They also found a cursed charisma ring on the 1 dead gnoll. The ring of the sexy gnoll, plus 2 charisma, but the wearer looks and feels like a gnoll when worn. Later on, the player who has that ring infiltrated a gnoll camp and is distracting the gnoll commander, who is taking her time painting him while the party clears out the camp. She finishes before they're done, and to buy even more time, the player seduced her, or she seduced him, it's kinda hard to tell. Now that child gnoll is training to be a paladin with an Archean, I'm not sure how to pronounce that, and his aunt is pregnant with the PC's half-gnoll child. My campaign is weird. That is a little weird, but I'd say good weird, fun weird, but still weird. One time I was DMing and there was 2 paths. One of them required an athletics check to jump over a sleeping dragon, and on the other side was a ton of loot. Well, my friend rolled a 1 and fell onto one of the dragon's spikes, which impaled him through his butthole. And during the whole fight with the dragon, his body was ragdolling on the dragon. That is a very cursed image. Don't think too hard on that one. To set the scene, the party found themselves in a burning chapel deep beneath the surface. They are battling an Aarakocra Death Knight. The gnome in the group had forgotten he had 1 HP. As the Death Knight soared over the flames, the paladin threw the gnome at the Death Knight with godlike precision. The gnome scurried across the Death Knight's body. The knight tried to push him into the flames and kill the gnome. A single strength roll would determine the fate of the gnome. The knight rolled a 19 plus 5, the gnome rolled a natural 20. Everyone screamed so loud at this beautiful victory. The next course of action for the team was then to design a Gnome-O-Launcher. The world was never the same. Why is it that gnomes are always thrown? I see a lot of gnomes being thrown in games that I run that have gnomes, so is it just a standard? And this one is one of my stories. I ran a game with some coworkers that had 6 players, but the important one to the story was Gunk, a Goblin Paladin. This group's first mission was to go clear out an old sea fort that some evil soldiers were set up in. Their reward, should they succeed, was the deed to said fort. The party had taken out the guards, moved inside, and had a grueling battle crawl through the entire place, Gunk nearly dying every step of the way. Nat 20s rolled against him, failing checks. At one point, another player accidentally knocked him off of a balcony into a group of soldiers below, thus ending the stealthy approach. Gunk had been through one hell of a day. They got to the end of this adventure and had 2 more places to clear out. The cellar/dungeon below, and the top of the wizard's tower, where the leader was hiding. They figured they'd clear the dungeon out first, and Gunk, being the noble hero he is, walks down first, straight into a gelatinous cube at the bottom of the stairs. The party tries everything to get him out, but he ends up, for the second time that day, hitting zero and falling unconscious. They are able to pull him out of the cube by his leg with a squelch, then run upstairs to heal him. He barely gets to like 4 HP. That's when they hear footsteps running away. Since they decided to clear the dungeon first, the war mage who was at the top of the mage's tower took the opportunity to make a run for it. Gunk, having just been healed up, joined the others as they ran after him. Half the party, including Gunk, made it to the door in time to watch the war mage turn around and cast a spell before fleeing into the trees. The mage casts Fireball and everyone succeeds their saves, except Gunk. Gunk rolled a nat 1. His player leans back slowly in his chair, smiling and saluting as Gunk's body is blown back, slamming into the stone wall and cracking the bricks. The party ran over to the broken goblin body and used their last healing potion to save him for a 4th time. Gunk decided he needed to sit down for a bit before they go in to finish clearing the dungeon below. Thank you everyone for watching. According to YouTube, 93% of you aren't subscribed, so if you do enjoy the content, I'd really appreciate it if you could subscribe and become a regular of the Twisted Pint Tavern. Plus, if you're subscribed, we'll keep a mug behind the counter with your name on it. Thanks again, and I'll see you in the next one.